Squirrel Tribe, happy November 6th. Happy President Donald Trump is our next president, 47th President Day. I don't really know what words to use here. All I know is I am excited. I know y'all are excited. My dog over here can hear the excitement, so he's over here now. The last 12 hours have been freaking bonkers. That's the best way to phrase it. Absolutely bonkers over the last 12 hours. I did not go live last night. You guys already realized that I wasn't live last night because instead of going live, I wanted to really just enjoy what was happening. And I don't know if that makes sense the way I mean it, but I wanted to be able to focus solely on what was going on and in real time be able to give you guys updates. I was over on X all night. Every time something happened, I was throwing it up over there so you guys could see it like in real time. My husband and I decided to watch Benny Johnson live last night. And when I tell you that man's energy was beyond contagious. It was crazy. Our daughter, she's 15. She was playing video games and she would come out every once in a while because I was losing my mind out here. Every time Benny Johnson started yelling, I start yelling, another state flips red and I'm like, yes, North Carolina. And, everybody's watching Pennsylvania, just waiting. And the second Pennsylvania went from its little blue stripes to its red stripes, Benny Johnson lost his ever-loving mind. I lost my ever-loving mind. The dog lost its ever-loving mind. America lost its ever-loving mind. Like it was amazeballs. It was the best thing in the entire world. I went back and forth between Benny Johnson on the TV. I had him on the TV over here. And then I had Barry Cunningham up on my computer, on my phone. I was on X going through everything, checking everything that was happening there, trying to see exactly what was going on. Elon Musk this morning posted just one sentence. He posted, "We are the media." He posted that on X, and it's true. We are the media. Everybody here, you, me, anybody else who is on X, we are the new media. You can't trust CNN. You can't trust MSNBC. Hell, you can't even trust Fox, honestly. Like they're all being paid to pump out whatever words, whatever scripts they're given, right? So we here, the people, the citizens of this country and citizens in other countries who want the best for the United States. I have plenty of y'all here in the live chat on Squirrel Tribe and over on X who are from the UK, you're in Germany, you're in Scotland, you're in France, you're in Brazil. I'm trying to remember all the countries that I've had people comment from, and everybody's saying, I hope you guys get Donald Trump. I hope that your country gets back on track. And I think that's absolutely amazing that you have not just the United States of America watching what's going on with the election, but you had the entire world watching, because the entire world understands that the United States of America, we are a superpower. We are top tier. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in a boastful, whatever kind of way, but it really is what we are. The United States of America is unlike any other place on this earth. But unfortunately, over the last 4 years, under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we have slowly started to deteriorate with the lack of leadership that gave a shit about this country, right? So now you have the rest of this world watching, and they've been watching for the last 4 years, watching as we slowly start to crumble from the inside, like an implosion. And they want the best for us because the best for us equals the best for them. If the United States of America falls to its knees, how does that help the rest of the world when they need help military-wise, when they need help monetary-wise, when they need help with food, when they need help with just literally anything? It's not feasible if we are no longer a reigning superpower, right? But now we have Donald Trump back in the presidency. I'm saying it because it was said by all mainstream media. They're saying that Kamala Harris called Donald Trump to concede, which I don't know if that actually happened yet. I haven't seen anything that proves that happened. But when you have, y'all, y'all understand. It's like an indescribable kind of feeling. I was not into politics before 2020. I was not a Trump girl. I wasn't MAGA. I wasn't anything before 2020. And then when 2020 happened, and not just, Joe Biden getting in office and Donald Trump being out, but, COVID and everything else that happened after that, and seeing the division amongst the people, seeing the division in the White House, seeing the division and the push that the left started in this weird divide between morals and lack of, between good and evil, between right and wrong, between left and right. it really opened my eyes, right? And so over the last 4 years, I've paid a lot more attention to what was going on. Excuse me. And in the last, I want to say maybe 9 to 12 months, I've really started paying attention to Donald Trump. Before that, I was a, brainwashed lefty, whatever, because I listened to the media and the propaganda and everything that was pushed, and I believed it for what it was. But in the last year, I've noticed that and thanks to X, thanks to Elon Musk, I'm going to be completely honest here, thanks to Elon Musk and the platform that he bought, the Twitter, I was able to open my mind and my eyes because I was finally able to get real information from real people. It wasn't the stuff on Facebook that Mark Zuckerberg and his people would sift through and allow whatever they wanted through, which was, generally speaking, a negative against Republicans and a positive for Democrats, right? And it wasn't what was on Instagram, because Instagram is all about tits and ass and Photoshop and selling stuff and whatever else. And it wasn't TikTok. It's a bunch of 12-year-olds dancing inappropriately to songs they shouldn't be singing and outfits they shouldn't be wearing with moves they shouldn't know how to do. So when X became like a thing, y'all, excuse me, this is what happened. So I know Benny Johnson's going to be completely screwed today, but me yelling and stuff last night has definitely affected my voice today. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to try not to cough, or, swallowing water sounds weird, I'm sure. But where the hell was I, y'all? Oh, because of X, I was finally able to see the honesty behind things, as opposed to the not dishonesty, even though technically that's the right word, but the agenda. Okay. Because before it was an agenda. With X, I've been able to see the honesty in everything. And it's been eye-opening, mind-opening, everything for me, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it is just as a woman, whether it's as a mother, a wife, it has literally changed everything. And you wouldn't think that when you say social media. You think social media and you're like, grain of salt, whatever. But it has made a massive difference. And so last night, when, it gets into the election, the first thing I thought to myself was, where am I going to get honest information, the truth, like videos that are real, that haven't been altered or spliced by CNN, MSNBC, even Fox or wherever else. So I went to X, and I went to Benny Johnson, and I went to Barry Cunningham, right? I went to the ones that I trust, Colin Rugg and Charlie Kirk. And I know there's more, Megyn Kelly, numerous others, but those are the ones that obviously are at the forefront of my mind. And watching the map go from just your regular states to pink to red to stripes of blue to stripes of red to red to, it was, I've never sat through that during an election before. And I know I'm not the only person. I'm not going to be the only person who feels this way today. Candace Owens, thank you, Sarah. I'm not the only person who's going to feel this way today. But last night was a monumental change for me personally when it comes to how, I don't even know how to really phrase it. I want to use the word invested, but that doesn't feel right. How, you know how sometimes you'll think of something and you're like, well, mentally I feel this way, and physically I feel this way, emotionally I feel this way, but like in your bones, I don't know what to phrase that as, but like in your bones. So last night, watching the excitement with Benny Johnson and with all of us over on X going back and forth together, I felt it, the patriotism in my bones for probably, in all honesty, the very first time in my life. Like I've always felt, the United States is the best country and everything else. Over the last year, I've really been more about the country as a whole, the people in the country, what the elections really mean for the people. But last night, it really like drove it home for me, just from watching the rise of the people, because that's what it was, y'all. That's what it was. Last night, it wasn't just we had a president. It's not just that a president won. It was that the American people made their voices heard. They stood up and they said, we don't want this. We are tired of what we have in office. We are tired of what you are doing to our country, what you're doing to our citizens, what you're doing to our children, what you're doing to our businesses, to our homes, to absolutely everything. And the American people stood up and they said, you know what? We're going to stand in your line. We don't care if your power is out. We're going to stand in your line. We don't care if you're saying your Dominion machines aren't working. We're going to stand in your line. We don't care if it's 4 hours long, if it's raining, if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's whatever. We're going to stand here and we're going to let our voices be heard, because it is up to us to determine the way this country goes. And I think that too often people, and I was that person, I'm always transparent with you guys. I was that person before who was like, it's just one vote. What's it matter? What's it matter? Y'all, after last night, I realized that every single vote matters. Now you have people who are like, oh my God, you're so stupid. I can't believe you think your vote matters, blah, 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 blah. I will not let you deter me ever again in life, because yes, there are people pulling strings. Yes, there are people higher up who want a specific outcome and they will do anything they can to get that outcome. But you know what last night proved? It proved that those people can kick rocks. It proved that if we stand up and we make our voices heard and we do go out and vote, that we can change the tide from the direction they want it to go. And we did. There was no blue wall. Kamala was all about this blue wall. I'm going to have this blue wall and blah, 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 bitch. It was red everywhere. The only places that were blue, y'all, the only places that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz won were the states where you didn't have to have an ID to vote, where all of the illegal immigrants that they let through our southern border could go and place a vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The states that required, the constitutional legal provision of you have to prove that you're a citizen and you got to have an ID. Well, they obviously have IDs during the Constitution, but you know what I mean. Y'all understand that those states, the people came out loud and proud and they said, red. I vote red. I vote Donald Trump. I vote for the constitutional republic. I vote for the safety of my children. I vote for the safety of women. I vote for the safety of this country. I vote for my businesses, my home, everything. I vote for your daughter. I vote for your business. I vote for the safety of your home. We stood up last night and said, we are not going to deal with this train wreck of a Kamala Harris, Tim Walz duo in the White House, because we already know if they had made it in, life would never, ever be the same. The United States of America, any of us have ever known and loved, would be completely gone, 100% obliterated. But now we don't have to worry about that, because technically we have Donald Trump as the winner, the elected president of the United States, number 47, not the placed, not the, selected, I guess is another word. He was elected. The people made their voices heard last night. Now, the title of this live stream is The Calm Before the Storm for a reason. There is still that pesky little business of sentencing for Donald Trump. Okay. There's still that pesky little business of the people on the left going to try to do absolutely anything they can to find some way to invalidate the win of Donald Trump. They're going to pull up that Amendment 14, Section 3, and they're going to run with it. They're going to try everything they can possibly do. We have to stand our ground. You have got to keep the faith, keep the hope. Don't let them sway you or poke you or make you angry or make you act out of character. Don't let them make you act like they would act. We have got to be classy. Look, be trashy for a second and be like, told y'all motherfuckers, but then be classy and just be like, hey, good game, right? That's how you, at the end of a sports game, when one team wins and the other one loses, it's good game. You did your best. Good job. High five. Yeah, there you go. Bump. No, but here's the thing. We still have the rest of November, December, and almost damn near all of January for the current sitting president, Joe Biden, who, in case nobody noticed, was nowhere near Kamala Harris last night, was in bed by 9:30, according to the White House, because there was no point in staying with Kamala Harris. He already knew that it was not going to happen, that she was not going to win. When you have Jill Biden in red from head to toe as she goes to vote, that is a subtle fuck you to the Democrats right there for the coup that they pulled on Joe Biden. She wore red, just the same as Joe Biden put on that Trump hat at the FDNY, at the fire department in New York, and then took it onto Air Force One with him. Maybe it was dementia. Maybe it was also a silent little, you know what I'm saying? Like You just never know. What I do know is that I woke up this morning because I tried to stay awake. Y'all, I tried so hard, but turns out that my eyes and my body, they're not nearly as young as my mind is. And it was like, ma'am, you're old, go to bed. So I didn't make it. I fell asleep before Pennsylvania was called. Do you understand how disappointed I am in myself that I couldn't make it for when Pennsylvania was called? I was pins and needles with Benny Johnson the entire time. And then I fell asleep probably 10 minutes before Pennsylvania got called. The first thing I did when I woke up this morning, I'm like in the dark looking for my phone, and I pull it up and I was like, Pennsylvania? Yes. I didn't even look to see if Trump was president yet. I already knew that was going to be the answer, but I wanted to know if he got Pennsylvania. That's what I was most worried about, because as soon as he got Pennsylvania, you knew it was over. But I think it was Wisconsin. Was it Wisconsin that pushed him over the edge before Pennsylvania even showed up? All I know is when North Carolina flipped red, I was like, oh. And when Georgia went red, I was like, oh, hey, we got this. Anyway, so we have 3 months left with Joe Biden, the current actual president, and Kamala Harris, who is still the actual vice president of the United States. I'm very curious to see if either of them are going to do their job at all over the next few months, because you know what they haven't done over the last 2 or 3 months? Their job. Kamala Harris has been busy using taxpayer money to fly around Air Force Junior so that she can get to her campaign rallies that are funded by basically Diddy money and whatever else. I don't think that the next 2.5, 3 months are going to be as great as we want it to be, only because Donald Trump is not in that office yet. Until Donald Trump is sitting in the White House, in the Oval Office, at that nice little desk right there, and signing papers as the president of the United States, I'm still going to be a little bit pins and needles in a weird kind of way, because I don't trust that the current administration is not going to do something to completely F us over before they leave and before Donald Trump comes into office. Because of course they want to leave him with the biggest pile of shit humanly possible so that he has his hands full the second he's in the office, right? That's how I feel about it, because they're both petty. Joe Biden is petty, and Kamala Harris is not only petty, she's also chicken shit, because last night, Howard University, instead of her walking out to talk to the tens of people that were there waiting for her, she sent out somebody from her campaign to be like, oh, listen, you know, she was going to come out, but no, she's not going to. You'll see her tomorrow. Guess what? Y'all, it's tomorrow. It is almost noon Eastern time. It's almost 11 a.m. Central time. Guess what we have not heard? A peep from Kamala Harris. I checked everywhere before we started this live. I went to all the X accounts. Even Kamala headquarters hasn't posted anything today. I went to her account, Kamala Harris. I went to the vice president account, nothing. I went to Joe Biden, nothing. I went to POTUS, nothing. Crickets for Kamala has a whole new meaning right now. Nobody is saying a word when it comes to the fact that that woman just got handed her ass and told to go sit in the corner where she belongs. Nobody's saying anything about it except for the real media, you and I and everybody else on X and here on YouTube and over on whatever other social media platforms you guys are on. There is so much going on. Look, I've got probably, I'm not even gonna try to exaggerate here. I've probably got 200 things bookmarked that I just really wanted to show you. So the last thing that went up from Kamala Harris was the Kamala headquarters. They put it up 11 hours ago. Harris for president, election night update. And I want you guys to hear it. I want you to hear what this guy came out and said for Kamala Harris, because she was, like I said, too chicken shit to come out and do it herself. Let's see. This, look, I'm still just looking at the screen because they took forever to come out and actually do anything. Let's see when it starts. Oh, here we go. So here's this guy. Wait. No, not the music. Stop the music. Shush. Shush music. Okay, let's listen to this guy. In case you didn't see it.
Good evening, Howard.
This is supposed to be Kamala Harris on the stage at Howard University, by the way.
Good evening, HU. I want to say good evening to all of the Harris campaign, the campaign family. Thank you.
I think I'm going to say goodbye.
You have done.
Want to say goodbye?
Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in the promise of America.
Talking to the wrong people. That's the Republicans.
We still have votes to count.
Not enough.
We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted. that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow.
That's all you needed to know. The woman running for the president of the United States, running for the highest office, was too chicken shit to come out and talk to the people who were there to support her. And like Linda, I saw a comment, Linda pointed out, she sent a man out to do her job. I thought your whole entire thing was like women's rights this and pro-abortion, because it's not reproductive rights. All this women this and women that, and then you send a man out to do your job? Okay then. So you couldn't be bothered to go out on stage and just say the same things he said. She couldn't even be bothered to walk out on stage and say, hey, listen, votes are still coming in. We don't have all the numbers. We have a few states. It's looking kind of right now, but I want to thank you for your support, and we should all take a nap or have some more drinks, because I'm sure she was getting sloshed last night. And then we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Couldn't even do that. You know what that's not? It's not very presidential, ma'am. So last night, the people of the United States dodged a bullet, kind of like Donald Trump when they tried to assassinate him. The people of the United States dodged a bullet. The country has dodged a bullet. The world has dodged a bullet with having Kamala Harris as the president of the United States. It would have been an absolute disgrace to the office. Not that Joe Biden's much better, obviously, but it would have been a much bigger disgrace to the office to have her sitting there in the White House cackling and having nothing to bring to the table at all. Look, there's no volume here, but I just want you to see this. This is Donald Trump in his garbage can. Just there we go, and bye-bye. That was Kamala Harris, in case y'all couldn't tell. She is done in the crapper. James Woods posted, he's an actor, you guys know this. He posted, the only sure bet tonight was that Harris would be a sore loser, too petty to congratulate America's new president-elect in a time-honored tradition. What a low-class piece of work she is. And I was like, oh, you took the words right out of my mouth, because it's exactly what I was thinking. Low class. Here she is walking around on stage in her $60,000 Tiffany necklace and her however thousands of dollars earrings that may or may not have had microphones and reception and whatever else in it, Bluetooth. But she has all that money on her, but it doesn't make you classy, ma'am. Just because you put on a pantsuit and some jewelry doesn't make you classy. Because if you were classy, you would have stood tall, walked out on that stage at Howard University and spoken to the people who were standing there for hours to support you. Just because I don't agree with the people who are supporting her doesn't mean I believe they should be crapped on by the person they're supporting. It's an absolute slap in the face to every single person who did vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, who did back her, and who are, the ones posting up there just absolute breakdowns this morning, just crying. Like so many men on TikTok and stuff and over on X right now, like sobbing because Kamala Harris didn't win. Listen, the beta is just, it's overwhelming to me. I don't understand that lack of testosterone in a man. It is not a good look. Passive aggressive in a man is not a good look. Bitchiness in a man is not a good look. Crying over Kamala Harris not winning is like the worst look. Just FYI, no real woman wants a simpy ass dude. It's just not how it works. Anyway, back to what we're doing. So Ian Carroll posted on X. He goes, so how about that Epstein list? Maybe that Diddy list. Let's get to work, boys and girls. That's why Kamala Harris is hiding. Right there is why she is hiding, because of that Diddy list. She did everything she could to bribe those people on the Diddy list to come to her rallies with, Beyonce and Usher, got LeBron James to endorse her, Meg the Stallion, whatever other trash she pulled up on her stage, J-Lo, who was like not engaged to Diddy, but dated him for a very long time. Every single person she brought up there has something to do with all the stuff that's going on with P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, and his allegations of literal child abuse and rape and everything else. She knows that she is in the crossfires of that because she was at Diddy parties and there's pictures of her with Diddy. So it's once Donald Trump is in office, I don't even want to call it a shit show because it's going to be absolutely freaking amazing. I think a shit show is a bad thing. It's going to be an absolute amazing. I'm like, we need confetti and fireworks and all kinds of stuff because it's going to be off the freaking chain is the words we're going to go with, because the names that are going to get called out for being just like the lowest grade of human being on this planet. And it's going to be all those same people that stood up and made these videos backing Kamala Harris. Robert De Niro, I'm assuming, is now leaving the country after he went off his rocker on his little rants in New York. He's got to be gone. Tom Hanks said that if Trump wins, that he's moving to Canada. And I was like, all right, bye, Forrest, like deuces. Nobody cares. Lady Gaga, who came out and endorsed Kamala, she's on stage at some concert playing the drums, and she has some chick literally shoving her fingers down her throat so she can vomit on her. Oh my gosh. Like, the degradation of society came out in droves for Kamala Harris. That was enough to make anybody with even a slight inkling of common sense and morality and anything else go, oh, no. Nope, not gonna vote for that. Let's just go over here and vote completely different, because having that at the helm, that is disgusting and that is terrifying. Let's see what else we have here. So now you have former FBI Director James Comey says that President Trump is coming for the FBI and the Department of Justice. Good. As he should. I cannot wait for Elon Musk to get in there and help cut the fat in Congress and get rid of everybody in government that doesn't need to be there, that's only, sucking the teat of the American people and bleeding us dry with how they get paid and how the money they spend everywhere else. Y'all, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Trump to get in here. Look at this dude. This white dudes for Harris guy. Number one, no, that's not necessary at all. Lost his ever-loving mind because Kamala didn't win. I was just surprised he could actually rip his shirt open. Like, either it was probably made in China and very, very low quality, because Harris is all about that and not really made in America, which is what Trump is all about. But that was interesting to me. AOC got reelected. Not quite sure how that happened, how AOC was able to get back into the office. Look, there we go. I lost all the chat. I couldn't see what was going on. Excuse me. Dry throat again. Need more water? Please hold. Hello. Y'all, I don't even think you understand the level of excitement. It's just absolutely crazy to me how excited I am. I just want to really quickly say thank you all for being here. I see there's like 10,000 of y'all in here almost. I'm exaggerating. It's like 9,300. But I appreciate you so very much for being here. You could be doing anything else right now, and instead you're here with us here on the Squirrel Tribe. I love you for it. I hope you guys are having a great conversation in the live chat. It goes too fast for me to really keep up with, but I do appreciate y'all being here. When this is said and done, y'all, I cannot wait, because I've seen some people mention The View. I cannot wait to turn on The View and watch Whoopi Goldberg cry. I just want to watch her cry, which I know that makes me awful, but I'll be awful for a minute. I don't really care. I cannot wait to watch her cry. Joy Bear. Oh, it's going to be so good. And then the rest of them, though, Anna Navarre and, Sunny Hostin, that piece of trash. And then the other one, Alyssa something or other. I cannot wait to watch them, because here's what my husband and I were talking about this morning, and I'll get back into more stuff from last night. We're talking about this morning. We're like, what happens now to all these people? Does CNN suddenly just flip and they're like, oh, President Trump is great? Because we know that's not how that's going to happen. They're going to continue to try to talk crap about Trump, at least for the next few months, until he fully takes office. But what happens January 20th? Do they suddenly flip how they talk about him? Do they continue talking the way they talk? Because who's going to watch them at that point? The View, what happens to them? Do they all go? Does The View go away? Because what do they actually bring? What do they bring besides a table of batshit crazy women bitching and moaning and crying all the time? Like, what do they bring to the table? The irony, because it's a table they sit at. Anyway, it's just going to be very interesting to me. Somebody asked me on a comment somewhere here on YouTube, and they said, well, what are you going to talk about once, Trump wins or Kamala wins, however they phrased it? And I was like, the same things. We're still going to have the same conversations about what's going on in our country and in the world. And if President Trump is doing something amazing, we're going to talk about it. If President Trump does something stupid, we're going to talk about it. Like, I'm an equal opportunity talker about her. Like, it's about truth and honesty. I truthfully and honestly like Donald Trump, and I truthfully and honestly loathe Kamala Harris. But it doesn't mean that if Donald Trump does something stupid that's bad for the people, that I'm going to pretend like it's not happening and just, kiss his ass. That's not how this works over here on SquirrelTribe, which I'm sure you guys have already realized. I'm not CNN and I'm not MSNBC. I'm not willing to lie to the people just to get people to like me or to get a paycheck or any of the other crap that they do, whatever. We're still going to have the conversations that need to be had because politics will still be politics every single day. The American people and what's happening to us or around us, it's not going to take 24 hours for Donald Trump to come in and fix what the last 4 years have destroyed. It's going to take time for our borders to get closed. It's going to take time for our economy to get back on track, for housing to be affordable, for our groceries to be affordable, for gas prices to go back down. It's going to take time for RFK Jr. to make America healthy again, to go after the FDA and the USDA and everybody else, the big pharma, big agriculture, all these different things. We're going to have a lot of conversations, and I hope you guys are still here for them, even if we're not talking about an election. That's my hope. If not, it's okay. I fully understand. Like, I tried to remember the phrase yesterday, people in your life for a season, a reason, or a, dang it, Sarah told me yesterday, and I've already forgot what the third one is. Season, a reason, or a lifetime? I don't think lifetime's the right third one, but whatever. If the reason for y'all being here was for election stuff and you get nothing from me after that, it's fine. I love you either way. Go where you're going to get the most benefit of your time. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get back to what happened yesterday. So AOC, somebody was dumb enough to still want her in office. So she got she's still in Congress. I want to show you this. This is from Biddy Levin USA. She's one of my followers, subscribers here on YouTube. I absolutely love her. But she tagged me this picture on X. She and her, I think she said kids or grandkids, made Trump and USA and elephant cookies in preparation for a Donald Trump victory last night. And I absolutely love it. She said, made Trump American elephant cookies yesterday with the kids in preparation. So happy today. And I was like, no, that's great. The Trump face is actually really, really good. If you look, because if I had made it, they would have come out like weird blobs. I think they actually came out very good. And the elephants came out really good. The trunk doesn't look like a weird penis. So that's a win right there, right? It's great. And USA looks like the USA. There's closed borders and everything on the cookies. This is a Benny Johnson post. You guys see that? Just Donald Trump waving. That's obviously AI. Waving a AI Kamala Harris bye-bye as she leaves the White House with, she better not have a stapler in there. Stapler belongs to the White House in case anybody was curious. You can't take that. MSNBC is now saying that the Electoral College system needs to be banned, because we already know they're going to go after the Constitution. They're going to try to go after everything. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that not only did we take back the White House, we've also taken back the Senate and the House, right? Didn't we Republican the crap out of all of it? Like, I'm pretty sure it was a night of wins all across the board. You've got a video here of this broski losing his mind for 4 minutes straight about the fact that Donald Trump has won. Unfortunately, I can't play it because they over there have a tendency to copyright the crap out of stuff, and they will take this video down before it can even get put up. So we're not going to do that. Mark Cuban, who has spent the last however many weeks talking absolute trash about Donald Trump and kissing every section of ass of Kamala Harris, came out today or last night with a post on X. Congratulations, Donald Trump. You won fair and square. Congratulations to Elon Musk as well. Hashtag Godspeed. I'm pretty sure he's like the first one who did a whole 180 flip and immediately took his lips off Kamala Harris's ass and planted them right on Donald Trump's, because he knows that he sounded stupid the whole time he was simping for Kamala, because everything he said made absolutely no sense, because everything she said made absolutely no sense. You have lefties melting down. I'm not going to make you listen to it. This woman is crying because she thinks that today all of her rights and freedoms will be taken away because Donald Trump was elected president. That's what happens. That on November 6th, everything just goes back to caveman era, Neanderthal area, and she has no rights, and me Tarzan, you Jane kind of bullshit. Y'all, unfortunately, here's the unfortunate part. The people that voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're still here. They're still citizens and non-citizens of the United States, and we still have to deal with them. And if you thought they were angry before the vote, child, Imagine how bent out of shape they're going to be today and tomorrow, and especially on January 20th when Donald Trump does his oath and takes office and whatever else, that whole thing. They're going to lose it. You thought all the people at the White House on January 6th, 2020, they're, talking shit about that, or 2021, they're talking crap about that. I imagine that whatever happens this year with the Democrats will be far worse than anything that they claim happened previously. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. So, clean sweep, popular vote Trump, electoral college Trump, House GOP, Senate GOP, state houses GOP. This is what it looks like now. You knew that certain places were going to go blue. Like, there was no doubt that they were going to go blue, right? But I am so incredibly proud of the places that were expected to go blue who went red. I am proud of the fact that either people who had not voted before decided to vote, or people who had voted before and it was blue no matter who, opened their eyes and realized that media had been lying to them for however long and decided to vote differently, because that's the only way this is possible. Sure, you can have an influx of people living in a state. Let's say Georgia. You have an influx of people living in Georgia because there's a shit ton of people in Georgia, which is why we moved to Florida. Isn't it ironic that the Florida, one of the most populated places, feels less crowded than Georgia? Because I was from the Atlanta area. Way too many people. And it occurred to me after we left, and especially now, that it wasn't just the amount of people, it was the caliber of people is another reason why we left, because I was tired of the debauchery is the word I'm going to continuously go back to. Atlanta became disgusting. It's gross. A lot of the people there are ratchet beyond all belief. And I'm not saying any specific people, like just people in general. Doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, you're black, white, Indian, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. Ratchet is as ratchet does. And there's a lot of ratchet shit in Atlanta. So I was very glad when we left. But the fact that Georgia, which for some reason is considered predominantly blue, it went red for Trump. Very, very proud of them for that. Florida obviously was going to be red for Trump. Texas went red for Trump, New Mexico stayed blue, but Arizona, I believe, went red for Trump. And what was another one that people were surprised about? I wasn't surprised about Ohio, but Ohio I'm very proud of because they got Sherrod Brown out of there. I don't know the name of the guy who made it his way in, but Sherrod Brown is an absolute piece of trash. He was around during the East Palestine, Ohio deal, February 3rd, 2023, and that whole fiasco there. And I knew he was trash at the time, and obviously the people of Ohio agreed because they got rid of him. He got booted. Here's the crowd leaving to go speak to her constituent. And the look of disappointment, it's just, I feel bad for them. These are younger people. Okay. So I may not agree with the people who voted for Kamala Harris, but I do feel bad for the ones, especially the 18 to 24 year olds. I think those are the ones that she called stupid, right? I feel bad for them because this is their first time voting, probably the first time they've ever really paid attention to politics. And they were putting their trust and faith in either a woman they thought looked like them, or a woman who they thought was going to do the best they could for them. And in the one moment where it would have probably solidified for a lot of them their love of either Kamala Harris or Democrats or the left, if she had just walked out on that stage to say something to them, she instead let them know, like she made it clear that the Democrats don't give two shits about you. It's all about them, themselves, that moment for them. And when it wasn't going her way, she didn't care about those people. They were out there waiting to see her and wanting to applaud her or, grieve with her for not winning, whichever way you look at it. These people that are leaving right now, I have very high hopes that when the next election time comes around, that they're not going to be at a Democrat rally, that they're going to be at a Republican rally, because they saw how Republicans stayed by Donald Trump the whole time. Donald Trump stayed by the Republicans. Donald Trump stayed by the American people. Let's be fully clear about that. Kamala Harris, her entire campaign was based on segments of people, like sections, the whites for Trump, white men for Trump, white women, white men for Harris, white women for Harris, black men for Harris, gay for Harris, twinks for Harris, like all these weird things. And the fact that she segregated them all out, which I told my husband this morning, I was like, the irony of a black female getting up there and segregating her constituents into little buckets is not lost on me, right? Like the irony of it all. But when I forgot where I was going with this, y'all, this is what happens to me. My brain takes off from the track and then just derails itself. Trump, what? No, okay. Donald Trump has been for all of the people. I had to backtrack to get where I was. Donald Trump has been for every single person of the United States of America, every single citizen of the United States of America, which I think is extremely important. Whereas Kamala Harris was for every single non-citizen of the United States of America, every single citizen outside of the United States of America, meaning if you were Ukrainian or Lebanese or wherever else, she was all for you, but she was not for the actual people of the United States. She was for whoever was going to get her the votes. She went after the black vote. It didn't work. She had Obama go after the black vote for her. It didn't work. She pulled in all these ratchet ass celebrities to sing for her to try to get the black vote. It didn't work. Black men came out and voted for Trump in like enormous numbers. Same thing with Latino men and women. But today you're not going to notice that because the left is going to show you all these videos of people, and it's not going to be white people, which is very interesting to me, but they're going to show you videos of black men and women, Hispanic men and women, gay, LGBTQ, whatever, men and women, trans men, well, no, that one's still a hard one for me to wrap my head around. All of them losing their minds because suddenly they think that all of their rights are going to be gone. But these people forget you had the same rights when Donald Trump was in office. The only thing that changed while Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were in office when it comes to rights is under the Biden-Harris administration, Roe v. Wade was overturned and it went back to the states. If Kamala Harris had won, guess what? Roe v. Wade would still be on the states. Nothing would have changed. Donald Trump has won. Guess what's not going to change? Roe v. Wade is still with the states. So this whole entire thing about abortion was a moot point. It did not have any bearing on anything whatsoever. But people today are going to have their videos out there saying how they've lost their rights, their reproductive rights. They've lost their right to this. Project 2025 is going to go through and separate interracial marriages and blah, 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 blah. My husband's black. I was married to him for the 4 years that Donald Trump was in office. I was married to him for the 4 years that Biden was in office. I was married to him for all the years that Obama was in office. I'm going to be married to him for the next 4 years with Trump in office. I'm going to be married to him for the next 4 years after that when JD Vance is the president. Because Donald Trump is not going to come through and make interracial marriages illegal. Like, hello, we're not going backward. And it's true. That's not Donald Trump's plan. So anyway, you're going to just see a bunch of dumb shit all over social media and the news, which is the disturbing part. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC News, CBS, all of them are going to be spewing all kinds of trash that is not even real or accurate or whatever. Joy Reid last night, y'all. Joy Reid on MSNBC. That woman is why asylums need to be opened back up. That bitch belongs in a straitjacket. She does not belong in front of a camera that's being broadcasted out to the entire population. There is something seriously unhinged in her brain, and the fact that they kept her on that stage last night speaking says a lot about MSNBC to me as well. So it was a lot, y'all. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, Bill Mitchell posted on X, women don't want the first woman president to be an idiot. Pretty much sums it up, I think. Pretty much sums it up. That's the guy. I already showed you that. Side note, Nancy Pelosi won her 20th consecutive term in Congress. I feel like there should be term limits at some point here, right? Sir Trump, Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, if you could jump on that part with the term limits, that would be great. Gunther Eagleman posted on X. He goes, Hollywood just realized how irrelevant they actually are, which is very true. All of these celebrities and musicians and everybody that stood up and put their careers in jeopardy because I know who I'm not going to listen to anymore or spend money to go see in a movie or any of that other stuff. They all stood up to simp for Kamala Harris and it did nothing. Taylor Swift did not change anything. In fact, it's possible they went the other direction. It's possible that because of all of these celebrities standing up there that people were going, listen, this is clearly about money and not about the United States. It's clearly about money and not about the people. There's obviously an agenda here. It's not about you or me. I don't want to be part of this. And they went over to Donald Trump. And even if they didn't go to Donald Trump, maybe they voted for Jill Stein. Maybe they voted for RFK Jr. as an independent because he was still on the ballot in some states. Maybe they voted for somebody completely different. Maybe they wrote in a name. Maybe they wrote themselves in. Who knows? But either way, Kamala Harris did not get the votes that they expected. She got less votes than Joe Biden did. She got less votes than they predicted Joe Biden would get. And the whole reason they pulled the coup on Joe Biden is because they knew he wouldn't get enough to beat Donald Trump. Yet for some reason, they thought that Kamala Harris would. Now, here's what I think. And I don't know if I've ever laid it out like this before. I fully think that the reason that they pulled Joe Biden out when they did is because they could see the mental decline happening, and they knew that if he was the one running, that would be very noticeable, and they would have no shot in hell, right, of winning, the Democrats in general. The whole reason they put Kamala Harris in, and we talked about this, was to keep the money, because in order to keep all the money that had been donated so far to the Biden campaign, the Democrat campaign for re-election, because she would have been the running mate again, she would have been vice president for another 4 years, they had to keep that money in-house. So the only person they could put in as a candidate, candidate, because that's not nominee, the only person they could put in was Kamala Harris so they could keep the money. And that's why they were working so hard around the clock to try to convince the American people that she was worthy of the presidential seal in front of her name or next to her name or whatever else. They did everything they could to try to convince you that she was the best because the money was tied to her, and they didn't want to let go of the money because money rules everything, right? And that's why they pulled the coup on Joe Biden, because they knew that if he was to get up and be on this campaign trail, that he was going to say stupid things like, oh, I don't know, Republicans make you want to hit him in the ass, I think is how he said it, or people who vote for Trump or whatever are garbage, things like that. And they were worried it would hurt his chance at another presidency. So they didn't want him. They wanted Kamala Harris. But then for some reason, they still let Joe Biden up in front of a podium with a microphone and nobody to stop him from speaking. I don't think he helped her at all. He might have hurt her. I think Tim Walz definitely hurt her more than helped her when it came to having him as a running mate. Maybe if they had picked somebody like another man with a backbone, a spine, just a friggin' hint of testosterone in him, they might have had a better chance. But when you put a woman up there who is clearly just stupid, it doesn't make other women like me go, oh yes, I can't wait to have a female president. No, if they'd put Tulsi Gabbard up there, I would have been very hard pressed to decide between Donald Trump and Tulsi Gabbard, because she is a strong female. Yes, she was a Democrat, but so was Donald Trump at one point in his life before he realized the Democrats suck and he became Republican. Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat, realized they suck, independent, now Republican, backing Trump, whatever, right? There's a way to have a female in the White House. The way they tried to do it with Kamala Harris wasn't it. Hillary Clinton, sure as shit wasn't it. There will be a time where there is a legitimate female on a ticket, but I think it'll be a Republican one. I don't think it'll be a Democrat female. I think a Republican female will be on the presidential ballot one of these days, hopefully while I'm alive, so I can see it happen. And I've said it before, though, I still don't think we should have a female president. I would like to see a strong one running for it, but I personally don't think we should have one, just because of how other countries will view the United States of America and how it could hurt or hinder things with other countries. Yeah, other countries have women in power, but those countries aren't really doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to phrase that, but they're small and inconsequential, and it sounds wrong, but it's the truth. So, y'all, the live chat goes away and I can't see what's happening, and I assume you guys are still here unless every single person left me. No, we're all still here? Okay, cool. Let's go through like 2 more things and then I'm gonna let you guys go, because I'll just make a bunch of videos today. That way I don't keep you here all effing day long. But here is, that's when Fox News confirmed. I'm not gonna make you listen to Joy Reid because that's absolute trash. All right, let's do the Donald Trump. Here we go. We're gonna listen to the Donald Trump speech because it needs to be listened to. You might have already heard it, but you're gonna hear it again. Oh, actually, I can't really play the music yet. Hold on. We gotta mute it for a second because YouTube does not like me playing music that's not my music, and I'm not trying to get this video taken down. But having him walk up there with his entire family after Fox News and CNN and MSNBC all came out and said, here, Donald Trump is your 47th president. You've got him. Barron is tall as crap, by the way, like super tall. I was not expecting that. I forgot how tall he is, but it's very noticeable when he's standing next to Donald Trump, how tall he is. Stop it, music. I want to hear Donald. So you have all of them. You got Melania up there. You've got JD Vance and his wife, and I feel bad I don't remember her name. You've got everybody up there. What is Donald Trump's granddaughter's name? Starts with an A. It's not Ava. It is, no, Kaya, right? You had her also. And here we go. No, stop it. It's still the music. But when Donald Trump gets up there, look how many people are up there with him. He could have easily gotten up there by himself, just him and Melania, Melania and Barron, maybe even him and just JD. But he wanted everybody. He wanted his family. He wanted people from that he trusted up there with him. JD Vance and his whole family. He wanted them up there. You've got everybody up there for Donald Trump. The people that are in that room right now, well then, because it's last night, for him is absolutely crazy. You've got Eric Trump. You've got everybody there. Laura Trump was there at some point. I don't know if her name is Lara or Laura because it's Lara and I always say it wrong. Let's see. At some point he's going to say words. I forget how long the music goes, but Melania looks happier today than the media would portray her to be. You know, anytime they talk about Melania, they talk about how she's unhappy. She didn't want to be a first wife, first woman, first whatever. And then they always show pictures of her where she looks miserable, where she's frowning or she's whatever. And there's Ivanka. And then finally, you know, we get to see when you don't have the left trying to push some sort of agenda or some sort of narrative, you see her. She is legitimately happy for her husband. She is legitimately happy for our country. And I think that's great. People forget about her because she's not in your face like, oh, he didn't talk about that one. Y'all, we did all that. He didn't even talk in that one. She's not all in your face like Michelle Obama is, or like Jill Biden was. Jill Biden, bless her. She needs help too. Where is the thing? I could have sworn I'd saved his actual speech. I guess I'll do that in a video because there's still way too much going on here. But the fact is, Donald Trump won the presidency. He is president number 47. He will make America great again. We will go back to the way things were, which is where we needed to be. Forward into the trash chute, the way Kamala Harris and Tim Walz wanted us to go was not the direction this country wanted or needed. So I'm excited. I thank you guys for being here for this live stream. I will have more videos left today because there's a ton that I wanted to go through, but I had to have the conversation with y'all because I was too excited to hold it in. So thank you for being here for this. I hope you guys are as excited and happy as I am today that you're celebrating in some way, shape, or form. People are like, hey, we're going to pop bottles, we're going to have some champagne. No, I haven't had any in a while, and I'm not going to start today. So, but mentally, popping bottles, cheers, that kind of thing, whatever, right? But I love you all immensely. Thank you for being here. Enjoy this day because it is a glorious day. So enjoy this day, and I will see you guys again later, and then tomorrow, obviously, on another live stream so we can have more conversations. So until then, love you guys. Goodbye. Adios. If I can hit the button. There we go. Bye, guys.